Hey everyone, and welcome to another installment of Tom's World. In today's video, we're going to be taking a trip over to Ivyland, PA. There's a place over there that's supposed to have native, non-invasive flowers, so hopefully we can get our list started as soon as possible. I did call them. They did say that their stock is usually the same stock week to week, so this is a much better place than the last one I went to. So if I can film there, I will do that. If not, I'll just give you a recap afterwards. So let's get going. So I was not able to film inside that place where I was just looking at the flowers. However, I figured since I wasn't too far from the area, Warminster, that I used to work in, that we go take a look at the place that I used to work at. I've mentioned a couple times, the Burpee Seed Company, or W. Atlee Burpee and Company. And, you know, I mean, we're not going to be able to get inside. I don't know that I even know anybody that works there anymore. It's been a while. It's been like 8 years, I think, since I've worked there. I'm sure there's still some people there, but they wouldn't let me in anyway. But we could drive by it and check out the outside so that you could see, if any of you have ever ordered from the Burpee Seed Company, you could see exactly where your seeds are coming from. And it may not be all that exciting, but I haven't been by there in a long time, and I figured, what the hell, we're here, might as well try. For some reason, every time I look away and look back, the shading changes on the camera. Do you see that? I don't know if you guys are seeing that. Anyway, so we're not far from there right now, and the light's about to turn green, so I'll see you in a second. It's raining a little bit, but oh well, no big deal. So this is like further into the suburbs. Let me close my windows so you can hear me. So this is like much further into the suburbs than you have seen before with me and my videos. Normally I go about as far as Bensalem. However, this is quite a ways north of Bensalem, but it's still a very cool town. Never had any problems here in the 11 years that I worked for the Burpee Seed Company. I also worked for a Wawa here on County Line Road. I cannot remember the cross street, but I'm probably going to go by that and stop in there just out of curiosity to see if anybody I know is working there. Okay, so this is really a trip for me because I have not come down this street. This is Park Avenue in Warminster. I have not come down this street in a very, very long time, and it's like nothing has changed. This is the train station. I forgot to shut my windows, so let me do that. There's a Pico station there. And then right after Pico, I'm curious to see if they still got the sign up. Should be W. Atlee Burpee and Company. Wow, this place has not changed at all, but they seemingly did take the sign down. It used to be right here. It was a weird looking sign too. And on the end here, it's all bricked up now, but that used to be an actual store that they ran, and they would sell plants and stuff there. And wow, I haven't even made this turn in forever. This is trippy. Sometimes they used to grow gardens in here too. Like some of the staff would get together and make a garden. But just in case anybody's out here, I'm going to turn you off for now. You don't need to see the back anyway. It's nothing special. Alright, so we'll be coming up on the Wawa that I was talking about. There's obviously a Wendy's here now, which is new to me. I mean, it could have been here for years now, and I would have never known because I don't come up into this area anymore. But I was right, that Wawa does have a gas station. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to grab a drink and see if I recognize any faces. Most likely not. Alright, so we left the Wawa, heading back down to Street Road. And then I think I might just take a trip over to my happy place. Gotta do it, I have the time. So yes, we are heading to the garden. A lot of wide open spots still up in this area. You'll see here there's just like this lone little tiny house. I would assume somebody lives in there. So now we're we're in an area of Bucks County called Feasterville. All along here on Street Road, it's mostly like businesses, banks, doctor's offices, post office, all kinds of stuff like that. McDonald's, 7-Elevens. Not really much to see here, but just making my way onto the park. So here we are, now back in Bensalem. Almost about to cross Knights Road, which means we're not far from the garden. And I just passed by a place I had never seen before. It's called Quaker Steak and Lube. I have no idea what goes on there. I don't know why it's steak and lube, but just kind of seemed funny to me. And here we are, the Chamonix State Park. Looks like they're doing some work. Oh no, I don't think they're doing work. I think these are just guys who drive these trucks for a business, and they're just kind of hanging out. I mean, they might be hired by the park to do some mulching of trees. Not 100% sure. Going down to the second parking lot, as I usually do. And then we'll take the walk down to the garden. Okay, here we are in the park. I actually stopped and talked to some people. Some of the volunteers were here, so we chatted for a little while. Or chat. I don't think chatted is a word. We chat for a little while. And they were here just taking some measurements and stuff. And it was cool seeing them during the week. That's the first time for me. Usually only see them on the weekends. But now time to take the long walk. Well, it's not a long walk, but take the walk down to the garden. And since we've all seen this before, I think I will just speed up this walk in 3, 2, 1. And here we are. Are you out of breath after running that fast? Amazingly, I'm not. Of course, I walked. I just, whatever. It was a stupid joke. So, to talk about where I went, I believe the place was called Farm and Garden Station. It's out in Ivyland, PA. And they did have some stuff there that we could definitely use as long as we get the okay. And I don't know, I'm a little optimistic about this, so which is good, and hopefully I have my list, so hopefully I will hear back from them soon. The sooner I hear back from them, the better. It's not a huge haul of flowers that I would be getting, but it's a start. We could start putting things like in here where the tree is. We have this whole area over here where the rock is. The hostas, I don't know if we're going to be able to put anything else there. They might choke out anything that we try to put there, but I don't know. We'll talk about it. We have this whole area here. There's just one hosta coming through, and we could plant stuff in there. Over by that tree, over by this tree, or the other one. We do have the whole cold frame, but I'm not sure if we're going to get to the cold frame in phase 1 just yet. Well, I mean, it'll all be part of phase 1, because phase 1 in entirety is going to be just having flowers in here. Flowers and some kind of showy plants, things like that. So this will be like phase 1B, I guess, because my last video was 1A, where I tried to go to Bowman's Hill Wildflower Preservation, and they didn't really have a whole lot out the day that I went, but they also told me that their stock is not regularly what's in there. Like from week to week it can change, because how they get their stock is they have a huge property of different native plants that are growing, and it's whatever they decide to pick from what's growing naturally, and then they put it into little containers and stuff. So they can't guarantee that any particular flower or plant would be available from week to week. But this other place, the Garden and Farm Center, or Farm and Garden Center, the name eludes me at the moment, but I'll probably type it and put it in right here. So yeah, that right there, that's what it's called. Anyway, they had a somewhat decent selection there, and they don't have a whole lot right now compared to what they normally get as far as perennials that are native and non-invasive. They did have some ground cover things there, but I would have to think that ground cover would be considered invasive because it spreads. So I guess the ground cover things I can negate, but I'm going to give them the whole list of what I got and let them tell me what is acceptable and what's not. And if there's like a ground cover thing, then maybe we can do it in one of these areas that's like surrounded by bricks, which I don't, the only place that is surrounded by bricks completely is the centerpiece where all the hostas are growing. So yeah, I don't know, but you know, we'll see what they say, and hopefully this is a very quick process, and hopefully not necessarily this weekend, but by next weekend we could already have the plants purchased, use some of that donation money that you have all generously given. Now, as far as updates of what's going on in the garden currently, this tree here, you can see, I'm not really tall. I'm only 5'9", but these branches aren't really low. You can see that it's got the flowers on it, which it did not have before, I don't think. But they're not going to last long. They're going to wind up falling off, and this will all be leaves. There are some little blooms of flowers growing on this tree. Maybe if I go around the other side we could see it better. Like up in there you can see the little flowers growing there. And let's see what else we got blooming over here. We can take a closer look at the hostas. And actually, the bush on the other side that I had originally mentioned that we might want to try to get rid of. The only reason I said that was last year it wasn't really too pleasing to the eye, and I didn't know that it was some specific kind of bush, but apparently it is. It's flowering now, and they're purple flowers, which is pretty cool. So, you know, I think this one may be a keeper. Last time I looked, the pods that had grown in here were still hanging, and yeah, there's still some right down here, and they've opened up. And there was more, yeah, over here behind that branch in the middle. So I don't know, maybe this thing is definitely worth keeping. Obviously, since the last video I'd said that they did mow the grass. You can see it's grown up quite a bit, because it's not really grass, it's mostly weeds. There's a lot of different things mixed in here. One of the things that's mixed in throughout the garden, if you're ever here and you look close enough at some of the grass, it's actually bamboo that's growing. It just never gets to mature because they mow it pretty regularly. So there's all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, you can see there's purple flowers growing. The chessboard has gotten a little taller again. So I'm guessing that either the other volunteers or the maintenance crew will take care of that. I still want to dig a little trench on the outside of the path over here. Only because, you know, every time it rains, dirt just slides right over top of them, which kind of negates everything that we did last summer. So, but still, this place is beautiful. Oh, before we look at the hostas, another thing that the other volunteers did, and I noticed this the other day when I stopped by here just for a little zen time. This corner of the chessboard that I was not touching because it was filled with poison ivy, they've dug it out. We just have to sweep it off now at this point, which is no big deal. And you can see how this tree has raised the bricks that were around here. And some of them people just put there, like on the left side there, but this is the circle of bricks that was not uncovered by me or them last year because there was just too much poison ivy. Now, of course, the volunteers that did this, they did wind up getting poison ivy a little bit, but they're getting better now. Have some things growing here, and they actually do resemble hosta leaves, so could be more here. It just could be that last year we weren't seeing it, and maybe the poison ivy vines were choking it out, so it never grew. Can't really say for sure. Got something else growing over here too. There's a couple of them. We have this, and there's more growing up by the tree here. So if anybody knows what these are, please let me know. Type it down in the comments. I'm not sure myself what they are, but as I've mentioned before, I'm not a horticulturalist by any means. And now we'll go check out the hostas. So here they all are. They've gotten exponentially bigger, if that's even the right placement of the word exponential. I don't know. We'll just say that they have gotten bigger since the last time I made a video here, which was really only a week ago when it comes down to it. So yeah, these are once again flourishing, and it won't be long before the deer start eating these or whatever. Something was eating these last year, and I don't know that it was deer because I wasn't seeing any hoof prints in the dirt, and the dirt is pretty soft. I think something just landed in my hair. I don't know what. Anyway, moving on from that. But yeah, you can see these are all doing pretty well, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's more of them this year than there was last year. I don't know, it just seems like more to me. But we have the area over here. This bush is still doing very well. It did well all winter too. It never changes what it looks like. So, and that's been there a long time. Obviously been there longer than this tree, I would assume. Either that or they didn't expect it to get as big and surround the tree. I don't know. Again, I can only assume because I was not here during that time. We have some kind of grass growing in here. Could be some type of ornamental grass. Again, not being a horticulturalist, I don't know. We got little hosta growing over there. Some ferns actually growing in here, which I can't say that I remember there was ferns in here last year. I'll have to go back in my videos and look. I know that there was ferns that grew all along the outside of the garden, like over on this side where the mansion was, there was some, and there was there was a lot back there in the back of the garden on the other side of the fence. So there probably is right now, and we can go check that out. But first, I want to go check on my friends, see if any of them are around over here. Let's see. Not seeing any. I would think they would have been today because it's pretty humid and it's been kind of damp throughout the day. It's been raining here and there, so I would have thought they'd be out. Sometimes they just stick to the sides of the wall there, and I'm just slowly going around. Don't want to startle any of them if they are out. But no, I guess they're all under the water and all those leaves and rocks that are down in there again. So we're gonna have to clean them out again. Oh no, there is a guy out. Here he is. What's up, little dude? All right, so we'll go check out, see if those ferns are growing in there. I got a feeling if the ones were out over here, that they should be over here too. Like, I don't know, maybe not. I do know that this whole area is to be cleared out. I think they said this year by the maintenance crew they're going to bring all their machinery back here and clear all this brush out and everything just to make the garden stand out more. And I mean, they're not going to get rid of the trees, obviously, just the brush. And I told them to make sure to be careful because there's some metal in there. I'm not really seeing many ferns in here, but they could be just small and mixed in with the other greenery, and I'm not seeing them. Oh yeah, all these right here. These are all ferns. I mean, there's other stuff mixed in there, but the light green stuff. So there's actually a lot of them. Wow. So yeah, they'll be growing back there again. So yeah, we accomplished some stuff today, and hopefully once I get home I send this email. Hopefully I hear from them by, at the very latest, early next week. I did send them an email last week and I never heard back from them, but they could be just very busy right now. So I will send another email today with the list that I have, and I also have to edit this video as well. So I'll take one last walk around the garden here, see if there's anything interesting to see. If not, then we'll just do the wrap up. Here's the daffodils that I showed in the last video. They don't last long, unfortunately. And so I guess that's going to wrap this one up. If this is your first time here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you'll be informed as soon as I upload new videos, and you're not going to want to miss what's coming up. We're going to be buying flowers, we're going to be buying plants, shrubs over time, bushes. We're going to be planting all kinds of stuff in here as long as it's native and non-invasive and it gets approved. But we have big plans for it over time. It's not going to all happen at once. I do still intend on doing some kind of meet and greet where we can have like an in-person fundraiser. All that money will go directly to the fundraiser. None of it will be given to anybody or anything else. And you can come out and hang out with Tom's World, and maybe meet the other volunteers if they're available. If not, I'm going to have to employ other people that I trust. And yeah, we can just come out and hang out. You can get a tour of the garden. I can show you where everything was and what the plans are for the future. And also, speaking of the fundraiser, make sure you click on that fundraiser link in the description. If you can't give any money, perfectly understandable. Just make sure you share that out. Just hit the share button, put it on your Facebook page. You never know who's going to see it and say, you know what, I want to give to this cause. And I appreciate everybody that has. You are all awesome. I've told you over and over again, and I will never stop. With all that said, make sure that you stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.